Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Shit Show. The Peter Shit Show. Bum, 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 bum. I want to take a moment to uh, bust some myths that are pervasive in our society. So I'm recording this at the tail end of 2022. Now, two big news stories this past year have been the abortion rights, obviously, and more recently, a discussion about same-sex marriage and Biden signing some new orders to keep it legal. I got to point out something. I believe a good segment of the human population is solosexual. Unfortunately, it doesn't get a lot of press time, right? It's not even part of the acronym. But my best guess is that anywhere between 2 to 6 billion humans on the planet are solosexual. And I base that guess based on how many people need to be solosexual just so our population can grow at a more normal rate. And I look at how many people are getting divorced. And unfortunately, uh, in modern society, solosexuality plays out as unhappy marriages, as illegitimate children that we then need to think about abortion, as some unhappy people who are constantly looking for love. And unfortunately, that's how solosexuality plays out in our modern society, especially in the Western world, right? Can you imagine if gay marriage were frowned upon, and so people had to get themselves involved in a straight marriage, and then they spend their weekends with their best friend who is the same sex, right? That's how we treat solosexuality here in the United States. A lot of solosexuals are stuck perpetually in unhappy marriages and have to sneak out in order to enjoy their actual romance, right? But unfortunately, good luck getting our Let's Go Brandon to understand that, right? Even in his executive order, he was talking about how we need to respect LGBTQ, and then he went on to talk about interracials, and then he said the word couples in his order. Can you imagine if I view the word couple almost like how some people view the idea that marriage is between a man and a woman, right? If you can't say man and woman, why is it okay to say couple, right? 100 years from now, or even just a few decades from now, we're going to look back at this and cringe at how we used to use these words, right? Anyway, so that's the first myth I want to bust, is that there's more to sexuality than two people involved. Okay, my next myth is that the other news story that's getting a lot of press time is because of the recent economic events, how many people are going hungry. I got to point out something. Here in the United States, far more people eat themselves to death than will ever go hungry. I think in a given year, the number of people who go hungry is probably in the dozens at best, right? But a lot of people certainly are going to miss out on their favorite foods. Yes, a lot of people have to skip going out to the five-star restaurants or even finding their favorite foods on the shelf at the grocery store. Good, I understand that. That's not called hunger, though. That's called having to be more open-minded and trying new things. And a lot of people are losing their jobs. Why not try cooking something new, right? And increase your creativity that way. Now, also related to the idea of eating is right now as I speak, I think it's the first time in human history we've had three pandemics at once. They called it a tridemic of COVID, flu, RSV, and monkeypox, or four pandemics at one time, right? A demic, right? But I want to point out the best vaccine against all of this is to eat healthy foods and to stop consuming all this nonsense that you can't afford anyway, right? If we're going to have a stagflation recession, why not let go of the soda for good, right? Now, I sometimes hear people tell me, my coworkers or my family, they tell me that it's really unhealthy to swear off a certain food. I got to point out something. We all swear off entire groups all the time without even thinking about it, right? Can you? If you live in the Western world, you probably would never think about eating a bowl of bat soup. You probably would never think about drinking bleach. And we swear them off without even thinking about it, right? If you view soda in that light, how is that an unhealthy thing, right? You just have a different viewpoint, that's all, right? There are certain religions that swear off various foods, right? And we don't say that's unhealthy. We just say that it's a different view, right? And that's how I like to view not drinking soda. I don't have to spend 24 hours thinking about it. In fact, if it weren't for making this video, I hardly even think about not drinking soda, right? Anyways, so our best vaccine has been actually it's been around until 200 years ago when we decided to eat all this nonsense, right? So that's the other myth I want to dispel. Now, the last four times during this pandemic that we had a Friday the 13th, cases really surged. And we have one in January of 2023. So just watch out for that, right? The probability of having four Friday the 13th that correspond to all the spikes over the last 3 years is only one in about 40,000, right? So anybody who wants to say this is a coincidence, maybe you should play the lottery. You probably have a better chance of winning the lottery. Now, a lot of people are looking at this stagflation crisis as maybe we should go back to a gold standard. I got to point out, throughout human history, 200,000 tons of gold have been mined. If you look at the periodic table, there are a lot of elements that are much cheaper and very little of it has been mined. And we actually need it in our technology, right? So, for example, look at tellurium. I think it's only 20,000 tons or so, and it's worth like what, $50 a kilogram. Look at indium. We only mine 600 tons of that a year compared to 3,000 tons of gold. There's a lot more of it in the earth, but obviously it's difficult to process. And then look at bismuth. We have 600,000 tons of it, only three times as much as gold. I think we should go to a standard of a basket of metals, not gold. And I think our future currency is going to be backed by a basket of rare earth metals. If I had to guess, I think that would make a much better currency than a gold standard because we would actually be need to use it, right? And governments wouldn't be able to afford it because it would be so bulky. Anyways, this is the Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum.